think, after last night's referendum on the United States government, I think that there's certainly a lot of people that this morning woke up with a certain level amount of anxiety and consternation. And I want to talk about optimism and positivity and the role it plays in all of our lives, and really the call that it has to have on us as Americans today. I had a Elevate number 52 planned, but I thought, in light of last night's events, and I think of what, this morning the potential is a really divisive fallout, I thought I would talk a little bit about this instead. And, I think optimism has always been something that I've personally had as a tool that I've leveraged greatly. I've always given people the benefit of the doubt. I've always kind of looked towards a positive future. I've always betted on good things. And a lot of people are worried that America is going to fall apart, and I'll tell you that I'll bet on America. I'm going to bet on Americans, and I'm going to bet on you to rise to the occasion and begin the process of healing. Hopefully, this is our rock bottom, as I've said in the past, and what it takes is seeing only one possible outcome and allowing all the noise to kind of drop away from your focus. I think when you give people the benefit of the doubt, what you do is you attribute to them the qualities that you would hope that they would share. I hope that last night was not about bigotry or racism. I believe in my heart that it was about a referendum on a government that isn't really working, that's become completely ineffective. And I hope now that we'll come together as a country and start to rebuild. It just brings me back to that point that I've made so many times in the past, is that entrepreneurism really is an answer. And, I talked with my wife yesterday about, raising the minimum wage, and about how the only really way to raise the quality of life and eliminate the disparity and increase economic mobility was to create jobs. And it's up to entrepreneurs to create jobs. It's not up to the government. And it's up to people to develop their skills and to increase their value and productivity and thus in turn give themselves an opportunity to increase their quality of life. But right now as a nation, we have to really let all of the campaign and the media and the hatred and the divisiveness drop away and get back to really the fundamentals of what this country is really about, which is a country of the people, for the people, by the people. It's the people that are going to make the difference. It's you and me. And I encourage you to stay optimistic. Bet on America and bet on yourself. Stop waiting for things to happen and start taking actions to make the change that you want to see in your community. We don't have to allow the people on the fringe to dictate what the mainstream deals with. And I think that, the media and both of these parties have done a heck of a job, labeling each other with really what is out on the fringe. And I think that us in the middle, all of us that are sane human beings, we want a country where no one goes without food and no one goes without shelter, and people have access to health care, and that the infrastructure is strong, and where the tax system makes sense, and where budgets are balanced, and that's universal, right? This Maslow's hierarchy needs is a universal thing, and I think we can work towards that, but it's not going to be done in the government. It's going to be done in small businesses and in communities and in schools and by parents and by children and by adults, and together we can do this. Stay optimistic. Keep moving forward, and I promise you that America is going to come out of this stronger than it's ever been.